Okay, we will call this Stark County Commission meeting to order. Today is Tuesday, August 4th. It is 9 o'clock, and we will start with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Easy for me to sit down. All right, first item on the agenda is to ratify the agenda. Any additions or deletions? I've got a couple.
Chairman Messer, I would like to add burn ban discussion for emergency manager.
Okay.
Scott.
What was that?
I'd like to add a burn ban discussion.
Okay. I need to add two items. One is a request from the victim witness program, and we'd like to add Sunrise Youth Bureau for their report. Any others? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I would approve the agenda with the new items that are added.
Motion by Commissioner Marsh. Do I have a second?
Second.
By Commissioner Claris. Any questions, additions, discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Minutes approval. You have in front of you the July 7th minutes from our meeting. Any corrections?
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the July 7th meeting minutes.
No second.
By Commissioner Claris, second by Commissioner Franchuk. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Who is our county coroner? I'm just going down through
Kurt.
here and I see. And where's he from?
Killdeer.
Scott County?
So is this invoice over and above the previously approved amount?
No, that would be the first, that would,
So we're paying the 1,000 of the 230.
yes.
Okay. Any other questions, comments?
I'll make a motion to approve the bills to be paid with the additional $1,000.
Okay, motion by Commissioner White. Do I have a second?
A second.
Okay, by Commissioner Marsh. Any other discussion? Hearing none. Roll call vote. Commissioner White.
Aye.
Commissioner Marsh.
Aye.
Commissioner Franchuk.
Aye.
Commissioner Claris.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion approved. Thank you. Years of service recognition is Evan Wilkie with the Sheriff's Department. I will present it to the sheriff.
He's here.
Another oh, there he is. If you didn't, the sheriff was going to steal your photo opportunity, so. There we go.
Oh, Corey.
You got it backwards.
Trying to read.
There's a,
Okay. Park Board Commission items. Are there any items from the Park Board that needed to be brought forward? I do not believe so. Since we approved some bills then, we're good.
Do I need to hold on to the twos ones till I hear from you, though? Or not?
I'm going out tomorrow, so.
Tomorrow, so you'll let me know when I
Yep.
can send them out?
Yep.
Okay.
Sheriff's report, Mr. Lee.
Chairman, Commissioners, good morning. You should have received my copy of the July report that I sent you guys. In addition to what is included in there, just a reminder that schools resume August 20th in the county for everybody. To be mindful of the kids bebopping around out there. I did want to touch a little bit on juvenile transport. We talk a lot about mental health transports and what they cost the county and all the time we spend doing those, and of course our other transports that we do, but we're going to address the legislature this session. I don't know if that's going to help us or not. There's some legal things that require us to, for example, go to Grand Forks. So we make a trip to Grand Forks. We bring the juvenile back from Grand Forks to their hearing in court. Then we have to drive them back to Grand Forks that day and then come back. So that's 4 trips essentially in one day just to bring a juvenile here for a 10-minute hearing. It would be nice if we could take care of those things through Skype online. Obviously, not only saving us a huge amount of time and money, but obviously there's some safety issues for the kids driving back and forth and things, especially in the wintertime. So I'm going to try to get that addressed this year in the legislature and see if we can do anything. Rough Rider Days went off without a hitch again. And I kind of want to tie that into what you see there with the traffic stops. So obviously you see 458 traffic stops there, which is insanely high for us for the month of July. A lot of that is our grant-related activities. But you'll notice that accidents, which are usually rotating around 20 per month, are down to 10. So like I say, with Rough Rider Days, our main function in law enforcement is about deterrence and people seeing us out and about and doing our thing, whether it be just patrolling or PR activities. It does deter poor behavior, whether it's that day or in the future. So I think, obviously, with 458 traffic stops, we're out there a lot with our lights on, and people are seeing us and slowing down and what have you. So I think that's probably a good indicator of why our traffic accidents were down by 50% in the month of July. Numbers and statistics sometimes lie, but I don't think they do in this case. In addition to that, we have National Night Out tonight. That's something we do every year with the other first responders in the area. It's the first Tuesday of August. That is a nationwide activity, so that'll be going on all over the country tonight. You guys are certainly welcome to come join us and help out. I'd love to see each of you there. Belfield and Richardson also have their events this month. Next weekend is Little Opryland Days in Richardson, and the weekend after that is Harvest Hoedown in Belfield.
Where's National Night Out at?
It's down at Legacy Square tonight. Questions?
I have a quick question.
Yes,
Aren't you taking most of the juveniles to Mandan? I don't know why I'd be taking them to Grand Forks.
We do take a lot, but YCC has been full a lot.
Oh, okay.
Any other questions?
Minot still does some, but it's typically Bismarck and Grand Forks.
Any other questions? Hearing none, thank you. I have a question, Amanda. I was supposed to add one other item, and I did not. Is it too late to add to the agenda? we'll navigate through it. All right, road department, Mr. Miller.
Morning, Commissioners. I'm going to go through, first I'm going to hand you a summary of year-by-year projects coming up for the next 4 or 5 years. And you can look at these. We can switch them out anytime. It's just a future reference for all of you. So I'll just hand those out quick.
Thank you.
Thanks.
State Auditor's Office will love this.
Oh, great. Hopefully we're not held to being accomplishing all those, but anyway, I put those together and just kind of that we have something in place that we can reference to and maybe add or delete or move or from year to year. But at least we got something in place for projects. Going forward here, hauling operations, our road crew has been busy graveling. Did 12.9 miles, hauled 30,579 yards, and that's been going really well. The other thing, I met last week Thursday with the NDDOT on a LPA, urban interstate priority process. We haven't met since 2009, I do believe. It's been the last time. It's because of COVID and all those things. So, and then they had new administration as well. What we discussed is impacts in the future, and one of them is out here at where you go out to Menards. What to do with that structure, that interstate bridge. Ideas we're throwing out, possibly roundabouts put in place, or even lowering the interstate, making it so that, because you're choking down 4 lanes to 2 on that bridge, and the deck needs to be repaired, so instead of maybe possibly not putting money into the repairs, they were talking about maybe widening or those type of things, but priority will be street lights installed, so hopefully they take this information to the state, and then they decide
At the intersection,
Yeah, on the off ramps.
right.
Yep. So it'd be basically set up kind of like the other one over by McDonald's, that main Highway 22. So the other one was thrown out is in the future we're having a talk about putting in a southern bypass, truck bypass and southern route, and it would possibly come up on the Lehigh Drive area with that overhead being turned into an interchange. So that's in place to discuss at the state level. So that's what that meeting was about. It was a couple hours. It was scheduled for.
Do you go to the meeting at the state level too, or do you just meet with them here?
Just here. Yep, the city of Dickinson, and then myself, and then engineers had invited Andrew Krebs with KLJ to be there, just in case they wanted to know any impacts off that roundabout next year as well.
And that
So-
Lehigh Road, that's 2030 something, right?
Yeah, it's in the future. The city of Dickinson's gonna take the lead on that, because we talked about, we actually had a meeting on that. It's been a couple months ago, on changing, you're gonna replace the Lehigh, bridge. And then we found out that this was in the plans, so then we're gonna just put that on hold. And then they talked about possibly putting in a bridge, right, going over the top of the tracks. And then I said, well, let's take a look at moving farther to the west some and eliminate both of our bridges, the one on Energy Drive and Lehigh Drive, and install one big bridge across and then go up to the interstate. So those things are being looked at. Whether that would happen or not, I don't know, but time will tell. But that's being discussed. And they did go out and take a road trip out there, to state people, to take a look at it closer. So. Projects, you have 3 bridge, replacement, low water crossings was done by county forces and completed. Later on, I'll be showing pictures of these, on the PowerPoint. Repaired existing low water crossing, concrete low water crossing on the Hart River. We completed that yesterday. And that was, I have to commend my guys. They've worked very, very hard. It was 42 yards of concrete, and a lot of it was done by hand, you know. We had to pull the concrete in by hand, and it was a lot of work. But they got it done. Very proud of those guys. Bridge replacement north of Richardson. Andrew Krebs will talk about that. We're having a pre-construction meeting this week. And then bridge replacement in the city of Belfield. That will be starting up possibly in October or November, so I don't know if we'll get that completed this year. Hopefully we can, but we're pushing it with the possible of snow. Photos, I'm gonna show you guys what my guys did out in the open. And anyway, here's a before shot of the bridge that was out at the Weber Dorman north of between Gladstone and Taylor. And then the middle shot is what putting in the pipe. And those 3 pipe are 48-inch diameter. True North Steel was kind enough to put a special coating on there, extra, at no charge, because they wanted to do it as a test site. So we were lucky to be selected for that. And then the finished road top. You guys did an excellent job on that, and minimal cost. So next slide, please. Here's the Arnold Huff location off the north of Taylor and Richardson area on 32nd Street, I do believe it. And anyway, the bridge looked like that, and now it looks like after. So put in 336 diameter pipe. And this has been done by all county forces, no contractor or not. And the only thing that was designed was the hydrology and the design of the low water crossings done by Highlands Engineering on all of these here. So, okay, next one. This is the Wreck Messmer one. This was a challenge because this bridge had to be shut down. That was the one that was closed. It was the only access to the landowner to get across to the other side. As you can see up in the right-hand corner of that aerial shot that I took above the bank, way above. I stood up on top and took a shot like that. Anyway, the field there is only access. And you can see that little trail right where it says after. That was the existing bridge trail. Now look what it looks like today after the guys got done. It was amazing, amazing work. Next slide. This is the Blasey crossing that we completed yesterday. I was telling you about. This one's farther down up the river on the Hart River. We didn't plan on doing this, but since the river is so low, I mean, you can see how low the water is. The track hole is sitting in the bottom of the river. And anyway, that's what it looked like off to the left. And then they prepared the crossing in the middle there, and then final pour was yesterday, and that's what it looks like today. And they'll add gravel to the ends and finish it off. So very proud of the guys, that's for sure. Got a good group.
There's a few yards of concrete there too, huh?
42 yards.
You mentioned that
Yep,
earlier.
and then we also had to, it was kind of the first load was a challenge. I thought, oh boy, if this is gonna be like this, we'll be pouring until midnight. But they add a chemical in there because this concrete will be submerged underwater most of the time when the river is up, if we ever get rain. So it's supposed to prevent concrete and help it from being underwater all the time, protect it. So it had to be mixed on site as far as the chemical put in. So once the truck got there, then they would dump the chemical in and then mix it for about 20 minutes and then bring it down. The first load was not wet enough. And you cannot add water once you put the chemical in. You have to have the water in first because this is designed to repel water, I guess. However that works. So, other than that, I think, I don't know if I have anything more on slide. Oh, yeah. This will be the next bridge that we're gonna start this, possibly this week. They're gonna put in a cattle guard today, replace one, and then we'll take this bridge out, and then there'll be 4 36-inch diameter pipe. And this is on a section line. It's a 6-ton rating on this bridge, so we'll eliminate this. So these bridges were all on the state inventory, and I did send in the paperwork already for those to be taken off. And once that is approved, then they're off the state inventory. So we'll be from 93 bridges in the county that are on state inventory, will be down to 90. So if any guys have any questions? Not, that's all I got.
Thanks, Todd.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna change my advice. Just looking at the AG's meeting guide, it says that regular meeting agendas may be added to or altered at the time of the meeting, so I think you're probably still okay.
Okay. Before we get to engineer reports, I'd like to add an item from the tax director to the agenda. So if I can get a motion to that.
So move.
Get a second? Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Amanda. All right, Andrew, you're up.
Oh, good morning.
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 I'll just give you a brief update. So our roundabout project, we're just working on utility coordination and getting to PS&E plan level, just to prepare for early 2027 bid opening with that project. The two chip seals, I still don't have a solid start date on them, but they do have you have to have the chip seal completed by September 1, so I would anticipate they'd be done here this month. I just gotta work on getting a start date from the contractor and then scheduling a pre-job for the county one on the Enchanted Highway and some other roads. So the 30th Street Southwest structure replacement, as Todd mentioned, we're doing a pre-job on Thursday. The plan is the contractor wants to start the next week, and then the box would be installed the week after that. It should be about a 3-week project or so. We went out and we did some staking yesterday so that the county can get going on doing some temp fencing, and we'll go from there. So, are there any questions?
Anything for Andrew? Thank you.
Yep, thanks.
Okay, we'll move the agenda around a little bit. Holly with Sunrise Youth, you guys want to come up?
Good morning, Chair Messer and the Star County Commissioners. My name is Holly Prouse, and I'm the Director with Sunrise Youth Bureau.
Amber Hofstad, Sunrise Youth Bureau.
We are here to first and foremost thank you for your continued support to the Sunrise Youth Bureau. If it wasn't for the funding and space that Star County provides, we would not be in existence. So thank you from our Board of Directors and staff. We continue to provide the services, diversion, crisis intervention, out-of-school suspension, education, prevention, and shelter care and attendant care. I'll give you guys a little bit of our stats for 2025. In 2025, we saw 86 youth for diversion, 56 youth for out-of-school suspension, 41 youth for shelter care and attendant care, 146 youth for individual classes, and completed 174 classes in the schools. So those are specific stats to Star County. So 79% of our services were helping, intervening, counseling, and educating Star County youth. We are seeing an increase of females being exploited or red flags of exploitation. Once we see these red flags, we work closely with the Human Trafficking Navigator to address these concerns. We are also seeing an increase in runaway youth. I would say the main reason that law enforcement brings youth to Sunrise Youth Bureau is because of unruly and runaway. We talk to them to see what is going on and offer our services to the child and the parents. Unfortunately, we are also seeing an increase in synthetic marijuana. I would say the last drug kits that we've completed have kids have had tested for synthetic marijuana. Our numbers have gone up in parent referral, which is a good thing because we'd like to get to the youth before law enforcement has to cite them with something so we can provide those prevention programs. We have kids and teens that we have worked with in the past come back to the Youth Bureau to talk with us. We make that connection with them so they are comfortable to come back to talk with us if they're having a hard time. We provide a caring, supportive environment where kids and teens feel comfortable. We also provide parent support if the parents are having a hard time. The programs that we offer are vital to our community. We assist with troubled youth and their families, as well as provide education, prevention, programming to younger youth to help with future issues. We help assist our local law enforcement, human service zones, juvenile court, and schools. If the Sunrise Youth Bureau did not exist, who would provide these programs? We are the only attendant care, shelter care facility in Western North Dakota. Where would juveniles go if we did not have a site at the Youth Bureau? That is why we want to express our gratitude to the Starr County Commissioners. If it wasn't for your support, we would not be able to continue with these vital services. Do you guys have any questions for us? I thought it was important to give you guys kind of like the trending things that we're seeing and the increases we're seeing with youth, unfortunately.
So you're busy.
We're busy. What's that?
Good news we got this week was about the Kratom.
Yes.
That was good.
Very
yes.
good.
And
That was
did-
very good
Have you
news.
seen much of that?
We haven't really seen that.
No, we haven't really, I suppose, tested for that either. So we haven't had any kids cited for anything like that at this point. But the synthetic marijuana has been, like, that was a thing quite a few years ago. Went away for a while, and now I would say like 7 out of 10 drug tests that we've been doing have shown up. with
And
that.
that's through vaping, right? I don't know.
yeah.
How is that consumed?
I mean, various ways, I'm assuming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a synthetic
Delta
type of
9 or
marijuana.
whatever, or
Yeah.
Delta 9, is that the
07,
Delta or
D07?
whatever?
Yeah, and unfortunately, these drugs are changing all the time. Corey could probably attest to that. But yeah, we're seeing kids smoking synthetic marijuana.
And they don't even know they're doing it. They believe it's regular marijuana that they're consuming, but.
Yeah, and runaways, we see quite a few. There was, just lately, we had a situation with a girl. She didn't actually run away, but we're also seeing an increase of working with out-of-state kids too, and providing a safe spot for them in order for parents to be able to come and get them, or a social worker has had to come get youth from out of state. Just kind of some unique situations. Unfortunately, we're seeing an increase of behavioral issues and mental health as well, where kids aren't really appropriate for our facility or agency. We do the best that we can, but a lot of times they're just kind of beyond of what we can provide. So we try to make those referrals to other agencies where needed. So yeah, we're busy. Diversion's been especially busy. Summer's usually our downtime for diversion, but that's juvenile court is keeping us very busy.
And what's the frequency of having a juvenile there overnight? It's increasing every year?
Yeah, I would say the summer's, knock on wood, it's been slow for shelter care and attendant care, but I honestly think it's the calm before the storm. So I think when school starts again, I think it's gonna be really busy. But we can keep a youth up to 14 days at a time. That'd be the longest they would be able to stay there.
And then what happens if there's no
Depend-
resolution to that?
Depends upon the situation. Either they go back home or they might go to Home on the Range or Dakota Boys and Girls Ranch, just depending upon the situation. Or maybe the social worker is looking for foster care too, and it might take that amount of time to be able to find a foster home.
Any other questions, comments? Well, thank you for your
Thank
time.
you guys so much.
Yep.
Enjoy the rest of your summer.
Thank you for the work you do.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Okay, Mr. Josephson, are you ready?
Good morning, Chairman Messer, Commissioner Steve Josephson, Planning and Zoning. Commissioner Franchuk just asked me to give you a brief update on a couple of proposed zoning ordinance amendments that'll be heard at the August 27th Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. One of them is for battery electric storage systems, And if you're not aware of what these are, they look like big Connex boxes. They are, their function is to store energy that's been created from some sort of power source, a power plant, a solar farm, wind farm, whatever, and it would be stored and then also sent out onto the grid. There's nothing in our zoning ordinance that covers that right now. There've already been a couple of counties in North Dakota that have approved these. The Planning and Zoning Commission has been working on language, I'd say, for at least a year. There have been presentations given to them. So just to give you a heads up that there will be a public hearing at the August 27th Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, and if the Planning and Zoning Commission recommends approval, it'll go forward to the County Commission at your September meeting. The other thing that there will be a public hearing for is solar facilities. This is another zoning code amendment that Planning and Zoning Commission has been working on for a while. We were recently contacted by somebody who wants to do a small private solar farm in industrially zoned property, and our zoning ordinance in industrial permits a power plant, which is what the PSC defines these as, but there are no development standards. There are no development standards in it. So it would address development standards. It would also address if somebody wanted to do a large-scale utility solar farm, which again, the Public Service Commission considers as a power plant. Our current zoning ordinance allows those as a conditional use in industrial for both the power plant and transmission lines. But again, there are no development standards for those, so this would add those standards into the zoning ordinance if approved. So that's what's going to be coming up at Planning and Zoning for public hearing. The Planning and Zoning Commission, along with, we've also invited Rough Rider Electric and Southwest Water. We're looking at drafts of a data center ordinance. This is going to be something that is going to be done, take our time before anything goes to public hearing. Probably we'll ask for some sort of a public involvement meeting, probably inviting both the Planning and Zoning Commission and County Commission to get public comments on this. Don't have a date for that. As I said, we're taking as much time as possible before coming forward with something like this for a public hearing.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that was a question I was going to ask you, if there's any discussion on how we would be approaching data centers, so good.
Yeah, everyone is we're taking our time. We've received some input from the state's attorney's office, and hoping to get more input from others. Others also looking for somebody at Montana, Montana Dakota Utilities to get involved with this also. So just wanted to give you that update, and I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
You mentioned that a couple of the counties have looked at and potentially approved battery storage facilities. What's the typical footprint on one of those?
Oh, they have, and I can't tell you how large.
Okay.
I can get that. I can email you and let you know what those were.
I mean, is it 10 acres? Is it 600 acres? Yeah, okay.
It depends on the size of it, but I can find out the two that were approved. They also have to go to Public Service Commission before they can start operating. But yeah, I can find that out, and I'll send an email out to everyone and let you know.
Thank you.
Steve, also, we talked about the public nuisance policy and the ETZ. I'm guessing there's some of that, you want to mention that, I guess, too, we've had some complaints on that.
Right, and this is a problem that's come up every year, which is the Stark County zoning ordinance has a public nuisance section to it. It can only be enforced within those areas that are in the outside of city extraterritorial zones. We get calls about nuisances. The city gets calls about nuisances and ETZs. The city's nuisance ordinance doesn't cover nuisances within the extraterritorial zone. I brought that up because there needs to be some sort of relief for those property owners and folks who live there. Chairman Franchuk has asked me to survey other counties and find out how they've been handling that, and we'll have more discussion about that at that August 27th meeting. I've also notified the, city community development that we're looking into that.
Thank you.
And I'm hoping whatever we get, resolve it, we'll have we'll have cooperation with the city, because right now, those folks, if they call about, they're in the ETZ and they contact either agency, there's nothing that we can do, and there needs to be something done.
So would that be conducted cooperatively?
That's what we need to find out. We're still early in
Some
that.
kind of a joint powers over the ETZ nuisance?
Let's find out what's been done elsewhere, and I imagine there'll be some negotiating before we get to something.
Okay.
I don't know if the state's attorney wants to add anything about that at this time. Okay, thank you. All right, thank you very much.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Okay, next on the agenda is the Armory and LEC land purchase agreement with the City of Dickinson and the counteroffer we received. So in your packet is the counteroffer we received for our consideration. So any discussion? What are your wishes here?
I guess looking at that, I guess my opinion on it was that we would go ahead with their counteroffer.
Okay. Well, it is a reflection of the appraisals that they have in hand. Anybody else?
Is that a motion? Do we have a motion or not?
No, we haven't received a motion yet, unless,
I guess it was discussion, was
yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah, I think so.
I guess the only thing I would add to the discussion is, I mean, obviously the purpose of the Armory building in particular would be, to look towards building a new sheriff's department there, or renovating that spot or space to a new space for the sheriff's office. By all accounts, that space will work for you, Sheriff Lee?
Yes, I think we're in that general consensus.
Just for additional information, if we were to approve and accept this counteroffer, I think besides closing on the deal, what we would do is do an RFP for a construction manager position or contract. And then I think part of that would be that we would put a space and design team together to, design the space and then get some ideas on cost relative to that. I've had construction manager in there, I have an architect in there, I've had a general contractor in there, I've had two HVAC managers in there, or contractors, engineers, all to look at everything to make sure we're not, opening up a can of worms and going down that direction. And we, at this point, have had no red flags presented to us.
How much of that $30,000 have we spent?
Zero.
Zero? Were we, that was put there just in case we were gonna need it, were we, I mean.
Yeah, so,
Sure,
I mean,
the audit people that came and looked at the sewer system and stuff like that wouldn't do it for free.
right. So what we did as part, or how I handled those was, had them look at it as a opinion, and then, with the understanding that they would have certainly opportunities to get involved from the public aspect of bidding and those kind of things. And most of them have done work with us before, so it wasn't like we were reaching out and initiating a contract with them. So they've been very cooperative, very responsive, and the discussions have been very good.
Seeing if there was no red flags that you saw with any of those inspections, I to make the motion that
But we didn't have any inspections.
the ones he's had to look over.
Well, define what not an inspection is.
Well, I would think we approved the $30,000 to have those inspections done.
Well,
right?
but that was, for example, the Prairie Engineering said their typical inspection would be 5,000. They've been out here, and because they've done work on other items and spent several hours, half a day basically, in the facility walking around, they haven't billed us.
But never generated a report for us.
I was gonna say, are there reports?
A formalized report?
Correct.
No.
Okay.
We have formalized reports that the city previously did
That was the-
environmentally.
That was a lead report, right?
Yep.
So for the lead issue, I mean, for the lead issue, how do we, I mean, what's the recommendation on
Well,
cleaning that up?
Yeah, so the report basically said that the major two areas for high levels of lead concentration were just outside the shooting range. And one other spot, I believe, walking into the locker room, I believe. And it's on the surface, you can abate it more than likely, since it's, 50-year-old tile, that's probably gonna either get covered or removed. And so that would be the recommendation from them on how we would do that.
So we don't have any cost on the remediation of removing the lead either.
Well, it depends on part of the process. Are you gonna leave the tile there? Are you gonna remove the tile? Are you gonna cover the tile?
It's just basically not in the walls or in the ceiling or.
Well, it's throughout that, I mean, I could pull it up. I was afforded it. The vast majority of the space has levels of lead, just like if we would walk in your facility down there, I'm sure there is. The high concentrations, again, were where the officers and the staff were, directly involved with the shooting range.
I'm sure
And so
lead-
it would get on their shoes or get on their clothing and get transported.
But lead is heavy, so I mean, it would drift down to the floor anyway, so.
Right.
I mean, worst case scenario. I mean, well, let's just talk about the location of the Armory building itself. That fits.
That is, that's our campus.
I mean, if they want to condemn the building and tear it down and start over, that'd be fine too. But overall, we've got we think is that facility can be rehabbed to a point where it's usable. But overall, I don't think you can't recreate that location
No, you
for what
can't.
we're trying to do there.
I agree with you.
So,
There will be no demolition of that building. It is so far.
I'm just saying, just
That is
worst,
so far out there.
worst case scenario,
Yeah. I mean, the building structurally has great bones. It's been there, and if we go in and redesign the space, we're not gonna make the Taj Mahal, we're not gonna make it a 10 out of 10 as far as quality of space. We're gonna make it a 7 or an 8, do it very reasonable, do it very, proactive, efficient, and we're going to get it done for, like I said, half the cost of some of the options I've seen laid in front of me over the past 5 years.
Some of the advantages of owning the land itself underneath the LEC, I mean, I look at, that affords us, future possibilities for expansion of whether garage space or whatever it may be.
Yeah, it's a great location, so.
I'll make a motion that we go ahead with their counter offer, repurchasing the law enforcement center property and the Army at $2,210,000.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Franchuk. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
By Commissioner Claris. Any other discussion? We should probably include in the motion how we're going to pay that. So are we going to come out of general fund?
Corey's budget.
Corey's budget?
Don't tempt me. This would be the capital,
Okay,
your capital improvements fund.
got it.
Yep.
Okay, so is that included in your motion, Commissioner?
I
Fran-
would make that in, there's the fund that come out of the capital improvement.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing no,
Do we just, curious, closing date, has that?
I think we're into September.
Not changed, right? Okay.
Okay, roll call vote. Commissioner Franchuk.
Aye.
Commissioner Claris.
Aye.
Commissioner White.
Aye.
Commissioner Marsh. Chair votes aye. Motion carried. Okay. I would at the same time ask for authorization to issue an RFP that I'd work with state's attorney with so that we can put that out for bid for a construction manager.
Do we also have to do anything with those funds, them unused funds that we approved to spend on that, or does that just stay where it's at?
That 30,000?
Correct.
Yeah, we still may want to use that.
Okay.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, by Commissioner Claris. Do I have a second?
Second.
By Commissioner White. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right. Additional pay period. Karen.
So we've had discussion about the timing of our pay periods, and we were going to put into the 2027 budget the additional pay period. Because we get paid every 2 weeks, eventually there will be, there's normally 2 additional pay periods in a year, but in this case, there is 1 more. So after looking at it, all the hours worked that would be on this additional pay period will have been worked in 2026, not 27. So we found it justifiable and reasonable enough to pay the additional pay period at the end of December. So what would happen if we paid it in 26 instead of 27? So we would be issuing the payment on a Thursday because Friday's a holiday if we didn't, in order to have it in 2026. Otherwise, we will not be issuing the checks on Friday that everybody would be used to getting a check on Friday, and they would have to wait until the following, was it Monday or Tuesday, Lana? Monday? Which would then be in 2027's budget. So either we do this out of the 2026 budget, if the commission is okay with this. This is an additional pay period, okay? So we do this out of 26, and then the employees would get paid the Thursday instead of Friday before.
And that makes perfect sense. I know, I think you want to keep that spend in the same period. So I would make that motion to approve that additional payment to be paid in period 12 of 2026.
Okay. Do we have a motion to create an additional pay period? Oops.
Can you also include to amend because we'll need to amend all the budgets to include that.
We're
That's
just
just
including this
language.
additional.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that's in your motion, Corey?
Correct.
Okay.
Second.
We have that motion to create the additional pay period in 2026, seconded by Commissioner Franchuk. Any other discussion? Just makes sense. Okay, roll call vote. Commissioner White.
Aye.
Commissioner Franchuk.
Aye.
Commissioner Claris.
Aye.
Commissioner Marsh.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion approved. Okay, let's go to Katie, victim witness request.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Those never given to me.
Oh, okay.
Are you talking about this?
Oh, yeah, and some others.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for this last-minute addition. I appreciate it. I am coming before you guys to request an additional victim coordinator position for the office. I took over roughly 3.5 years ago, and there has been a steady increase of crime in general throughout our county, especially violent crime. I gave you a little bit of statistics for the last few years, and then what I have currently this year for 2026. You can clearly see that there is a steady rise in all the violent crimes, sex crimes, domestic violence, homicide, and assaults. Just a little bit of background. I took over halfway through 2023. In 2023, there was a total of 569 files opened. That just means individual files. That doesn't mean the total number of victims. Each file can have at least 1 up to 4, 5, 6 victims. 2024, there was a little bit of a decrease in 505 files. 2025, 544 files. And already in 2026, I've opened 244 files. So well over 244 victims in our county this year. The crimes range from shoplifting all the way up to homicide. Part of my job, not only to maintain contact with victims, to work with the state's attorney's office, the city attorney's office, but I'm also on loan to 8 other counties in the Southwest Judicial District. I have cases up in Minot that the state's attorney's office is working in collaboration with them due to a conflict they had. It's a homicide case. These cases involve a lot of individual work, a lot of communication with the victims' families, the victims, coordinating restitution or payback of damages, whether it's medical, property damage, business damage. All of this takes time. Not only do I deal with the victims and their families, we deal with businesses, and I run our grant. Our grant is from the VOCA. It's a combination currently of federal and state money, which I'm proud to say that every year that I have written this grant the last 4 years, it has been an increased amount. By adding another victim coordinator position, it will also be grant funded partially, but it'll allow for the victim coordinating office to have better communication with our victims. In some of the paperwork I gave you is the Marcy's rights. These are the rights that are afforded to all victims in the United States. And one of the biggest things is communicating with the victim. Making sure that they know about court dates, making sure that they are guided through the criminal justice system. We're entering their lives at the absolute worst possible moments that they're having. And it's overwhelming, it's cumbersome, they don't understand what's going on. So it is my job to guide them through that entire process from start to end, and sometimes even afterwards. By having another position, this will allow me to do my job more adequately. The other person brought in will be able to continue on doing that. It's going to have better communication with our attorney's offices. When we're in trial, when we're having to go to court hearings, there will be somebody else to continue on the office duties, opening files, communicating with people. One of the things with dealing with the victims is we have to document everything. So that entails a physical file. We have a database, statistics, and grant reports that we have to write on everything. Having the second position available will allow for this to be done in a more adequate manner, more timely manner. And it's going to allow for quicker follow-up with the victims. We make initial contacts, we have to continuously follow them up. I just did a quick count this morning of all of my open files. Currently, I have over 250 open files in my office. That's open criminal cases, open victim cases that I have to maintain follow-up and keeping these victims up to date on what's going on with their criminal cases. It's a lot of work, and the additional person will bring adequacy to this office. It'll bring timely manner, bring better communication, and it'll reduce burnout. We don't want attorneys, police officers, victim coordinators to be burned out because there's too much crime, there's too many victims in our county. So I'm coming to you to ask for the approval for an additional position in the victim coordinator office for an additional victim coordinator. I have talked with Amanda on the budget. I've talked with Karen on the budget. We would like to have a capped out salary at $62,000, which would be put into the current grant that I am writing and should be awarded October 1st. The grant runs from October 1st to September 31st every year. And it primarily covers the salary, the fringe benefits, and all the office supplies for my program. Do any commissioners have any questions?
I have a question. You had mentioned that you support other counties.
I do.
What other counties?
All the counties in the Southwest Judicial District, so Adams County, Billings County, it's upon their request. So some of them don't have a victim coordinator, or it's something that's out of their knowledge, or they just don't have time, so they ask for our help.
Do we get reimbursed by those other counties for your services?
It depends on, like Minot, we are billing Minot for those because Amanda has that case.
I don't know how it works in the Southwest Judicial District.
Yeah, I don't specifically add any billing onto them. I don't have a whole bunch of cases, but my services are all there for their use.
Available.
Yeah.
Do you get one per county per year on the outlying ones?
If that.
Right, so
Yeah.
it's not like it's a huge, but
No.
every once in a while, there might be a big case where.
Yeah.
So you mentioned you think the additional position could be partially grant funded.
Just like my position is, yes.
Okay, so I mean, at the same level? You think, so if it's a 62,000 salary plus benefits, it would be, I mean, it looks like we're getting about 75% of your cost reimbursed. Would it be the same parallel to that,
Yep.
more or less?
Yeah, it'd be their entire salary, fringe benefits, office supplies. And then the county would have to match the required match amount for the grant, which would cover utilities, the office space, things like that.
Are other counties getting the same grant?
There are some counties, yes. Williams County uses the grant. The DVRCC, Domestic Violence Shelter, they use the same grant. It's for this grant is federal for any type of victim services.
Okay.
Not necessarily court stuff, but outlying and public service stuff as well.
And do these coordinators usually typically support the surrounding community, counties as well?
I don't know how the other judicial districts, I know there's a lot of talk within counties. If someone needs help, they'll call and ask for help.
I thought the federal government wasn't doing this grant anymore. It's the state.
So it was this current grant is state funded. The previous grant is when the government decided to cancel all the funding. So Kelly Armstrong, our governor, kicked in to match the previous year. And then this year, the state funded. The current one I'm writing for 26-27 is going to be federally funded again.
Oh, it's going back
Yep.
to federal?
Yeah, we were
Okay.
notified that about 3 weeks ago. We
Okay.
just don't know the total amount that they usually disperse the money in 3-year increments to the states. We just don't know what that's going to be.
And
yet.
what was the last federal dollar amount that you received in a grant?
It was 2 years ago. It was about $70,000, and then the state kicked in to bring it up to the 105,000.
You have 127,000 written down in that far right column?
Yep. So
What-
2026, I got 127,000.
Okay.
Yep.
And those grant dollars can be used for whatever.
No.
Salaries.
So they can be used for salary. It's however I write the grant. So it'll be used for salary, fringe benefits. I have training, travel for training, office supplies, promotional items like a banner or little things that we give to the kids when the kids come into the office, budget stuff like that. And I have to have it all approved within the grant under certain categories.
And for 27, you're writing a new grant for 27?
Yep, I'm currently writing it, and if this position is approved, I will be writing the grant for $215,000.
So counties similar to size in ours, like Morton, I was just looking it up here.
Mhm.
It looks like Stark, we have one, Morton has one, Stutzman has one, other counties have 3, Ward has more than one, Burleigh has multiple. It doesn't come out, so. But most of that's funded by state and federal then, right?
Correct.
I think, and don't quote me, but I think some of the state's attorney's offices just added it under their budget when the grants were getting, they weren't sure of it, so a lot of them just absorbed that cost. I know that we had that conversation, like 5 or 6 years ago, when there was a grant that wasn't written.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep. So are you proposing that the position be added subject to the approval of a grant? When do you generally find out? You said your grant is due in like 3 weeks.
So I will find out mid-September if my grant is awarded.
Okay.
I would propose that this position be approved either way. The fact that it's needed to assist victims doesn't go away if there's grant money or not grant money. I have been lucky enough that I've never been denied a grant since I've been writing it. And I think the only time this office did not receive a grant is when there was not one written. So we have had grant money coming in some way or another for over 20 years.
And the position timing would be, when would you fill the position?
I would like to have the position filled. My grant starts October 1st. If we can get somebody adequate hired in that time period, I know it's only a few months away. So I would like for that to be in place when the grant starts. And the requirements for that position would be the exact same as mine: education, experience. Obviously, they would have to pass a criminal background check.
So
All of
if that grant, if you're pretty sure you're gonna get that grant, is that the $215,000 grant?
Yeah.
So if that person starts in October, the fiscal year 26, that grant will cover everything for that
Correct.
individual until,
And I even made a provision in there for like office, a desk, things like that. So that wouldn't have to come out of the county budget.
what would this position cost our county for the last quarter of the year? If the pay and all that is already taken care of? Is there anything else additional?
I don't think so.
Training? No
That would
getting
be-
certification?
No certifications. They would get the training from me. I think the only cost really the county would have to come up with is the IT, a computer, monitors, and service to the computer. Would really be the only thing the county would have to come up with.
So right now, we're averaging having to transfer about $50,000 over to victim witness to cover what the grant is not covering. And so next year, we're gonna anticipate, I know I put 100 in here as a place marker because you didn't really tell me how much the grant was gonna be. But with that new employee, we're probably anticipating probably about 75,000 then for victim witness
Potentially.
out of the county funds, correct? To
Potentially,
make
yeah.
that budget whole.
So from 51 to 75.
25.
That would be my guess around there.
If the grant is awarded.
If it's awarded.
Without the
yes.
grant, then we would go from 51 to,
If the grant is not awarded, then the
Probably
county.
120 at least.
Yeah, well, the county would have to be paying for my position as well. So if the grant isn't
So
awarded,
you're
my
saying-
budget would be over 200,000.
so what you're saying is, they wouldn't, more than likely, they would not approve the grant in the status currently. So if you got 127,000, they wouldn't freeze it at 127. They're either gonna go to the 215 or zero, is what kind of what I'm reading you're saying.
They could, or if this position is not approved, I would remove all of that money out of the grant. And I would go back to just my position
Right.
and requesting the money for my position, which would be about 127,000 again.
Yeah, I think you've proven the need for the position. That's not the challenge. The challenge is, scraping up the dollars to fund it. And so,
And we also have the revenues that my office brings in from all of the victim witness fees from the city and the county, which averages around $10,000 a year in revenues.
I think we're right around 8.
8.
Yeah.
okay, any other questions? So I guess my question is this something that needs to be decided today, or can this be part of the budgeting process?
So she needs a grant letter from our office saying how much the county is willing to match dollars wise. And I said that the position probably needs to be approved before we send out a letter saying that we're going to match those dollars for the additional position. And so that's why we're on this question of,
There's no requirement to having that position approved before we send out that letter, though. There is?
Yeah, there would be.
well, but
Yes,
we're
by
saying that we're going to,
What's the amount of
Cover the
match,
match.
Karen?
53,787 would be the required amount of match for the $215,000 request.
Come again with that?
53,787, so roughly 25%.
Okay.
But that match that we have to write that letter for also includes in-kind expenses that you don't directly write a check. It, like all of the building is MDU bill, right? A small portion of that MDU bill can be included in the in-kind expense. So
All
it's not all a
utilities.
cash transfer that we
Yeah.
have to guarantee.
So it's all the utilities, the maintenance, cleaning, any contracts that end up happening in my office, like for damages or whatever the case may be, if I got new flooring or whatever, all of that would come out of that match amount.
So I'm confused here.
Sure.
If we received $127,000 in the last application grant for a single position, the increase you're saying is going to 215, which is like an $88,000 increase in application. That where's the 53,787 come from again?
So the grant requires a match amount of about 25% of what you're requesting. So that's
25% of 215.
215.
Got it. How's this play in the cap world, Karen?
I mean, it's another position, and I mean, it is more dollars. I think I look at things like the cost that hit us the worst when adding positions, especially lately, to be honest with you, has been health insurance and retirement. Those are the lines that it's really hitting us hard, especially health insurance. And so, and you can't hire somebody based on whether or not they're going to need health insurance.
Right, and we included in the grant the provision for fringe benefits, so the salary and fringe benefits.
Okay. What are your wishes?
I'll make a motion, excuse me, I make a motion to approve the position.
We have a motion by Commissioner Franchuk to approve the additional position within victim witness. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
By Commissioner Claris. Any additional questions, concerns, comments? Hearing none, we'll do a roll call vote. Commissioner Franchuk.
Aye.
Commissioner Claris.
Aye.
Commissioner White.
Aye.
Commissioner Marsh.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion approved.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Okay, Natalie.
Chairman, Commissioners, my name is Natalie Wandler. I'm the Stark County Tax Director. This is a weird situation, but the industrial contract that we paid for we agreed to the contract amount last year. Usually he invoices us and sends us the bill mid-July. He didn't send it till Saturday, August 1st. It's due August 1st. So I'm just asking if you guys can pay it in this round or if you have to wait till September.
How much is the amount of the? it's a-
45,500.
And that's a bill, that's a bill that we approved in your budget. I'm looking
Yep.
for it.
Yep,
Who is it for again? I'm sorry.
45,500.
The entity.
It's for complex
Okay.
aerial or.
It should be under your IT.
Yeah. Oh, no,
Nope,
it's under
it's under mine.
appraisal. It's under
It's under mine.
appraisals. Yeah.
Yep,
So this is the 2026.
2027.
2027. We haven't approved that yet, though.
It's been approved. I mean, we have the contract for the 26 and 27.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
is it 2
it's
year
already been, huh? It's a 2-year contract, 26 and 27.
That we approved a year ago.
Yep, yep. And usually we pay it, well, he initially was sending us monthly, starting August 1st. And then we just said it's easier to pay it in one lump sum, so he just invoiced us for the one lump sum. He just sent it late, so. I mean, I don't think it's a big deal to him if it doesn't get paid till September meeting, but I just told him I would ask, so
Yeah.
it's up to you guys.
I guess that would be my wish, is to make sure it goes through the formal bill process, even though it's been approved. We have other line items we approved that we still formalize the check on, so. I think our meeting next month is on the 1st, so he's gonna save like 4 days here, so.
Is there any late fees or contingencies within
I
that
don't
contract?
believe so. I mean, it doesn't, I know it's happened before where he sent the bill late and then it didn't get paid right away that month. I don't think he usually sends them out till the 1st. But like I said, it does say in the contract that we will make monthly installments. We had just asked him the last couple of years to just send one bill, and so, I mean, either way.
I think I'd be more comfortable waiting until the 1st. I mean, because if we
that's-
slip this one in, which ones are we gonna slip in next time?
Well, that's the challenge. And this is payment for work already completed.
This is for next year's contract.
So it's for work that he
Yep.
has not yet
Yep,
completed.
because
Got it, okay.
As
Then
far
that
as
even
weird
makes me feel
assessment
better
date.
more, so.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
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 you.
you.
All right. Okay, we will take a 15-minute break, be back at 10:30.
That's the longest one he's ever given us.
Okay, we will resume the meeting. Whoops, sorry. All right, next item on the agenda is the EOC space. Alana, sorry.
You guys also have Decker up there. Good morning, commissioners. So this is kind of a proposal essentially. So as you guys may have heard that they're building a new Station 1 for the fire department here in town. Because I've collaborated with them in the past, the city sees the benefit of emergency management, having them close by. They've mentioned to me that they would be open to the idea if we wanted to build space into that new fire station for emergency management. And I want to preface it by saying they are going to build the station no matter what, with or without emergency management. So they're not really looking for us to pay for the station or contribute to any costs that aren't our own. So if we add 2 offices, that would be the expectation for the county to pay for 2 offices. I would be looking at 2 offices, storage space, and then some garage space, 1 for a vehicle, 1 for some space to store like supplies so I can purchase like a pallet of water, pallet of food to have on standby as needed. So what I'd be looking for today, I guess, is 2 things. If there's an appetite to explore this with the city, and if there is, if Commissioner Claris and I could collaborate with the city on the planning so that we could come to the commission with a cost, because they do not have a cost yet because they have not started planning. I would take any questions.
I guess I would just add to it before the question. Yeah, I mean, the timing is kind of critical. They're in planning phase, and then, like I said, this is more just wanted to open this discussion more than anything. They haven't indicated that, you know, they would, if we have any idea that we would like to join them, we should speak now, because they're, I think in another couple of weeks, going to have your 3rd planning meeting tomorrow. Okay. Anyway, so I don't think we necessarily have a gun to our head here, but if we want to have any interest in this at all, we should have this discussion.
The first question I have would it be advantageous to be co-located there?
Yeah, I believe it would.
question too.
It would be, I think, to our advantage to be there. I think being close to an agency that I collaborate with a lot, they have a lot of resources I utilize. We do a lot of the trainings together. The space that they're going to be building for the EOC, I think, would be beneficial. They're going to build like a large training room that they would essentially use as a training / EOC room that would open up space in the EOC if we were to have a large event. You've all seen the EOC that I have. It's quite small. Packing people in on something large would be very difficult. I can also utilize the space for trainings. Good example, that EOC training that I brought in, that had a minimum of 30, max of 40 participant. I tried to book the Dakota room out months in advance. It was already booked, and that's great for the Dakota room, but it's bad for me. The Dakota room is always booked up. So having a space that I can utilize more frequently would be nice. I can have my LAPC meetings there. I think my space in the LAC currently could be better utilized. Either you could, I know you guys are planning on moving the sheriffs out, but they could maybe use it if they plan on expanding in the future, or if they want to just even utilize it along with the new space for the jail, or even a different Stark County agency that could use 4 offices.
Because there was actually some discussion, I don't know where we're at on that discussion, but up at the Public Safety Center, there was an office there originally for emergency management to be closer to dispatch, from what I understand. I mean, we're obviously a big participant in dispatch, and that's Brad's job for us, 911. I don't know where we're at with that, but I know that was discussed as well. And so if that were the case, go ahead, Dustin.
Good morning, Chairman, members of the commission. That space currently is used by our dispatch training staff and offices, so that space would not be available up at the Public Safety Center right now.
Okay.
So would that make more sense there, or once we start renovating for the new sheriff's department, for you to be a part of that?
I mean, I think it makes sense to put me with an agency I collaborate with more, and I think from the sounds of it, potentially that space is already planned out for the sheriff, so I don't know if fitting me in would
Well, I just don't
would
know. I
work.
mean,
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, I don't think the space has been planned.
Right. Right.
To your point. So reiterate the space requirements you would have. You said two offices?
2 offices. I would need a little bit of storage space. I have storage currently at the LEC in the basement. It's quite large. I don't think I need it that large. I think you can give me something with just adequate shelving, and I could utilize that. We'd have to contribute a little bit into the training space, could be to make it an EOC, which I think is just some technology, which I wouldn't go crazy. And then I would need some kind of like cabinets and stuff to keep some stuff in, and then it probably at least 1 parking space, and then a jaunt out there in the current LEC garage. If you go in there, there's like a outcropping that they lead you to the outside. Kind of similar to that, I think would be beneficial, even if you half it. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a parking space. It can just be a section of a garage.
I mean, I certainly would say start the discussion. The questions I would have is, if you're using that training facility or the training room, as you call it, you know, what is there a cost associated with it, or are we X% of the cost of that particular estimated cost of that room, and what this cost would be, or would it be more conducive for us to pay an annual lease fee versus a lump sum payment, depending on budgetary restraints? So.
Yeah, when I reached out to the state for more information, because I knew that these questions were going to be asked, I said, you know, is it just cost for cost of what we build, or is there a lease? And they said basically probably either or, if we want to pay up front or if we just want to lease.
And from what I understand, you're building the training room regardless of what our contribution would be, the technology for the EOC, correct?
Anything I would need.
Yeah.
Yes, so Commissioner Claris, yes, we're building the training room regardless. At this point, you know, we're going to be entering our 3rd programming or design meeting with the architect firm for this. So if there is an interest and opportunity from the county, now is the time to express that. Obviously, we're going to build a training room for a training room. If you guys would be interested in this, we design that to also serve as an EOC in addition to that. And then obviously design it so there would be some office space available for emergency management and storage space. So, but we'd be open if you guys are interested in looking at either maybe some type of a lease agreement or money up front, but we would take a look at both options if you guys are interested in pursuing that.
Okay.
I know that we've collaborated on the ambulance. I know I've spoken before, if I was in the same building as them, if they're having a hard day, if they need an extra crew. Myself and Brad both have training. I have advanced training, so we could take a rig technically and run a call in the county to help out. So I think we just have skills that align with the fire department. A lot of the calls that they go on, I don't want to say require emergency management, but there's collaboration there with emergency management that they do call us on a lot of calls that they have. So we do go to a lot of things with them.
Okay. Well, I think you have your marching orders. Definitely, you guys should continue the discussion.
Okay. Yeah, I think we just need to, if there's any kind of app, that we should just at least hear it out and see what's available and how this looks for us. And then you said the next planning meeting is tomorrow? Okay.
Okay, anything else?
Do you want to talk about the burn restriction?
Sure.
Update? Okay. So I spoke with the fire.
Elena, before you start, one thing I saw on this, that I would just want you to change the wording on.
Sure.
Is on the bottom, instead of sought by the court, it should say ordered by the court.
Overheard.
Restitution could be
Sure,
ordered by
I can
the
change
court.
that.
Thanks.
So it would be an update to the burn restrictions. I spoke to the county fire chiefs last night. There are some surrounding counties that are doing a ban. The county fire chiefs were not at a ban quite yet, but they did want to pull back or basically pull pits down on the restrictions. So restricting controlled garbage pits at low and moderate, regardless. So any fire index would not allow for garbage pits. Right now, we all see how dry it is. It's probably going to keep being dry up until October or past. So I know we did this last year and it rained a ton, so maybe this will bring the rain.
That's what we're hoping.
So we've had quite a few small fires in the county. The departments have been very good about getting them very early. They haven't grown very large, but there are a lot of fires that have been happening around the county, and I don't think it's gonna slow down. So as a precaution, we wanna control the pits. This would allow barrels still, but the large pits would be restricted.
Plus haying of CPR opened on Sundays, so that's gonna, in itself, gonna.
We're gonna see some agricultural fires, but even a ban wouldn't take care of that. We wouldn't restrict
Right, but-
agricultural
but
work,
I
so
said you're
yeah.
gonna be busy enough with that aspect, you
Yeah.
don't need the other side, so.
So, and then once I change that wording, I would look to get it signed, so.
Okay. What are your wishes, guys?
You're looking for a motion?
Yes, please.
Yes, I guess I would make the motion to approve the burn restrictions as provided here.
Okay, we have a motion
I'll second.
by Commissioner Franchuk. Any other discussion? Questions? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, sign. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, checks to cancel. You have in front of you about 8 checks that more than 1 year old. You're just looking for a motion to authorize them to be canceled.
Correct. Lana handles the checks. Once you authorize to cancel them, they're gonna be sent to unclaimed property in Bismarck. Most of these are, probably half of them. Some of them are tax checks, where they paid too much or something, we're sending a refund. A lot of them are probably the 24/7 program checks.
I'll make a motion to cancel all those checks.
By Commissioner White, do I have a second?
I'll second.
By Commissioner Claris, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, last item on the agenda before public comments is preliminary budget approval discussion. Karen?
So commissioners, I did, with today's discussion, have to add 2 things in, and then I sent you out an updated budget. It didn't really affect too many lines here. On your total sheet, it would have only affected the general fund proposed expenditures. So when we're looking at it this year, a couple of key things that came out that you might notice that the overall budget is actually lower than last year. It's because in December of 2025, you all made the motion to go ahead and transport the airport funds over to a special project fund. So you'll see that we had budgeted 1.75 million as an expenditure in 2026, but you guys actually moved the funds over at the end of 2025. So that inflates your expenditures from 2026 to 2027. So in your mind, you can kind of take that 1.75 out. And then you're looking at more of a true, what the difference is between the two. So right now you see $1 million decrease in what is being proposed for 2027. But it's actually
About a 750 increase.
Yes. Once you take the 1.75 out from the 2026, because that was already moved, it's a about a 750,000 increase from 2026. Once I went through here, and if you'll look at your summary page, that's where you'll see what we levied for the year before. And then what is on the right is what I am proposing. That's the 2026 dollar amount proposed, because we're by tax year. So don't let that throw you off there. Okay, so this is the 2026 tax year that we'd be sending out, and the mills for the 2026 tax year for the 2027 budget. I did the caps budgets. So the caps that we're working under, we did not use any of our 3% last year for the general fund. We only had like 0.06% left from the one that has the library, the airport, and the weed carryover. And so all that was included in. I did not include the excess cap that was not used from the previous year in your bucket that I have here. So I did not use the excess. The amounts that I'm proposing are just using what is allowable, not using your excess from the previous year.
Okay, couple of questions. So the requirement here is that you have to send out by like August 10th, right? Or isn't there a deadline pretty quick where you have to certify your budget at the maximum and you can always come off of that as?
Right, so you do have to, today, you have to approve the preliminary, and then we will have many more meetings and discussions to come down to a final budget in October. So the preliminary is just your starting point. You don't have to approve individual mills this meeting. If you have any questions or anything about the preliminary, this is just the preliminary. So we have plenty of time to negotiate between now and October if you want to decrease anything or anything like that.
I guess on the initial blush, I would certainly like to see us keep the general fund levy the same as previously at the 5.5 million. I think we have space and room to do that. The other ones we can certainly have discussions on, but the general fund one, I guess, personally, I would like to see us stay at 5.5. You get to carry forward twice?
3.
3 times.
3.
Okay.
Yes. The other one that is being added this year is we have to restart the mill for veteran services. We had not been milling for it for quite a few years. They are going to be down significantly, and we need to restart that for this year, or they won't have any funds. The county road unorganized lines, you'll see, that's actually below the max cap, but then the max mills comes into place. And so the max mills is actually lower than the max cap amount that we could do for unorganized road and bridge. So that's where that dollar amount is coming from. We have to max county road unorganized in order to get flex funding from the state. So that one's not super negotiable for the commission, that if we want those flex dollars, we do have to keep that.
Any other questions?
We will also be having our budget hearing. I want to say it's September. I'm going to get that date here.
I think it's the first. Or is it the second meeting?
We have 2 meetings in September, and that will be our budget hearing, because we have to send out the statement saying when everybody's budget meetings
Right.
are. And let me see here.
1st and 15th, yep.
Okay, so September 15th will be your open budget hearing that will be sent out on all the notices.
Okay.
Could I be at 9 AM or what time?
Yes.
Any other questions?
The final budget has to be approved by what date?
The first Tuesday in October, I believe.
Like October 10th, before October.
What is our meeting on the 20th for then?
Which day?
October 20th?
October 20th, we have scheduled meeting.
I don't think that's related to budget.
Have to set the foreclosed property values hearing for that.
Oh, okay.
That's what that one's for.
So final budget, October 10th, you said?
Yep, before October
Well,
10th, yeah.
Yeah, we will do it on the first Tuesday at our October meeting. NATCO is
Oh, NDACO.
October 11th, I think.
Right,
Sunday, Monday.
yes.
Is that what is that, Bernie? 11th, 12th? I don't have my
11th is a Sunday, so. it'll be
Okay,
Sunday
11.
night, Monday, and leave Tuesday.
Right. Nothing is not an option on this one today.
No, you have to approve a preliminary.
I mean, it's a lot of data, a lot of information, good information, so, but like I said, I think what we want to do is work off that first sheet and the summary, and we can focus on that, right?
Yep, your first sheet is your summary. For all the other sheets, we can come down from the preliminary. I don't want you to think we can't. We just don't want to go up.
Right.
So, like, for example, if you approve the preliminary total as presented, we can come down between now and October, obviously.
Right.
Yes. But this is our starting point.
I was just looking at weed. Did you work with Travis on that weed?
With the additional position.
It's in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the total additional headcounts budgeted for next year? Do you have any additional ones that were brought to you?
We had weed and
The victim witness?
the victim witness, and then there was some,
One in the recorder's
Change.
office?
yes, one in the recorder's office, which those are all things that are gonna have to be looked at because some of the proposals, are different. And those things are gonna have to go through probably a few more meetings for the commission to decide if they want that. But they're included in here for budget purposes,
Right.
in case you decide to include it.
So just three, is that what you know?
Yes, and then the swap, there's a swap going on, I think, in the IT department. And I think that was all the personnel.
Capital projects, jail, is that the full 10 mils there, or?
It is. So let's talk about, if you would like to, the jail a little bit. So that budget has been been getting trickier here. So if you go to the county jail tab, and I know it's all the way over, you decreased the tax levy for the jail. I think the balance throws you a little bit off, but most of the revenue that we are receiving in property taxes has already been received. So you have to think that half of that balance that's in there now, the 2.2 million, is going to be eaten by the rest of the year. I did receive a letter from SWIMC saying that they wanted an additional contribution significantly more than the normal $117,910. They want a contribution of $837,285 on top of, our normal board of prisoner expenses. I don't know if Paul has any insight into why that is so high.
Well, we had this conversation with Neil a little bit. I mean, our prisoner counts have been way, way down for prisoner counts have been down significantly in 26, not only Stark County, but Dunn County as well. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna be running at a deficit there, at the jail, and that's why that number's there.
So should the prisoner cost then go down reflectively?
Well, it has.
If we're not having as many prisons paying per day, that cost should go down if in event if our, what percent, 70 or 80% of SWIMC goes up to the 837.
So
No, it's expensive to run a jail, and so.
when I look at this, so halfway through the year, our prisoner costs were at 1,026,000. So you figure if we stay at the same number of prisoners, we're probably going to be around 2,100,000. That's not a $700,000 increase available for the additional contribution to make up for that. You're talking about 300,000 compared to wanting 700 more thousand. I don't know how we're going to long-term be able to fluctuate from 117 to 837 in 1 year with our caps and our levy restrictions.
Yeah.
Because that budget's already upside down.
But we're required to do so. We have no choice unless you want to change operational functions of the jail, right? I mean, for me, it's a tough pill to swallow, but we've entered into a long-term agreement with SWIMC to operate and function the jail. Is there cost-cutting opportunities at the operations?
Well, that's the whole thing. We had that discussion. I mean, whether you're housing 40 prisoners or 90, your costs are the same. I mean, and what you don't pay what you pay in prisoners, if you pay more in prisoners' costs, you're still paying that
Right,
amount.
right.
If you're not, well, you still need to pay your workers over there.
Yeah.
So this budget, at the max, 10 mils, okay? This budget is already upside down $500,000. And so it's gonna leave a total balance in the special fund of probably about 500,000. So basically, one more year, we can be upside down, and then general funds have to go over.
Yeah.
Because it's not supporting itself.
Yeah. So if you take, and I know this isn't going to be accurate, but if you take the cost to date halfway through 1,026, you multiply that by 2, that's 2,052. which is about $400,000 less than what we allocated for the 26 budget. If you take the 165 that we budgeted plus 400, you're at 565. We are still 270,000 over, right?
Yeah, we're
So-
upside down.
About 250, 260.
The only way we're not upside down is if we only had 200,000 extra, not 700. That's the only way we're not upside down in that budget.
Yeah.
So I just want to make the commission aware that that's a big upside down for the jail.
Okay, well, I think we're going to have a great 2 months of discussion.
Yeah.
We always do,
Look
right?
forward to it.
Has there been any discussion why where the head count's been less? I mean, is it just because we got fewer transient workers coming through? Or is
I'm not sure.
effectively
The
doing
sheriff
his
could
job?
enlighten us on why we have so many fewer arrests.
We've been also focusing on getting people into treatment that would normally sit pretrial, and using other alternative means of drug testing, our CSP programs, ankle monitors, some things like that. So there's been a real push from the governor's office, I'll say, to work with us about working on getting some people into treatment pretrial and figuring out other opportunities for them as opposed to just sitting county time.
It's not just Stark County. I mean, I've seen it from Dunn County, Billings County, Bowman County. I mean, and we have some other counties that are involved in our association out there. They never give us anybody anyway. I mean, I can't remember the last time we had someone from Slope County. Never. But, yeah, it's been down across the board.
I think what you have to remember is the whole process is a loser, right?
Yeah.
Certainly you can put more people in, whatever. Let's say we're not using the program, we're putting more people in jail. We're still paying that cost for those people to sit in jail. Certainly that budget looks better, but
Yeah.
we're losing it somewhere else.
Yes.
Incarceration is expensive, it's what it is.
Okay, I'll go back to page 1 summary, see if we can move this along. Well, I'll make a motion then.
So the proposal's 5.7, right?
The proposal in the first page you have for the general fund levy is 5.7 million. My comment was, I don't see why we can't try to remain it, send the message on 5.5, trying to
And work under them
hold
constraints?
constant, yeah. I mean, I think Karen and I worked on this a little bit yesterday, and it would reduce our current general fund reserve by about 1.2 million if we stay at the 550. We're still going to be deficit spending, but we have a reserve. There's a reason we have the reserve, and I think we can do this. I would just like to send the message that we're holding our own.
Yeah. Well, I'll make that proposal.
What
At
what percentage is
5.5?
that of our reserve?
Yeah.
Of our reserve?
The 5.5.
What percentage of our reserve, what percentage if we take this 1.5 million,
So I think the number we thought we started, it's on your other summary pages, we're starting at 17, a little over 17 million, and it would take us down to a little over
we're just
16
going with
million.
percentages, but that's no big deal.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'd have to do that
So to
calculation.
be at the 75% of appropriations, of your expenditures, so if your budget's 13 million and they want you at 75%, so it's right around 9 million is where it's supposed to be. One thing that is not taken into account though, is, so now we used to get property tax payments, and you'll kind of see that in our shift with our interest as well. So we'd collect property tax payments big time in like January, February. well, we have a lot of people utilizing the primary residence credit. And so with that being said, we get that in a sum from the state in June. So we're not collecting those dollars in the beginning of the year. We don't get those dollars until June, so we go 6 months without potentially collecting interest on some of that. And our oil and gas revenue is down for this year significantly.
Yep. So- Okay, we have a motion for 5.5 by commission, under the general fund
Yep.
levy. All other numbers in that column would stay the same. So the bottom line would be 15,087, 822.83. Did we have a second?
I'll second that.
By Commissioner Claris. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Commissioner White?
Aye.
Commissioner Claris?
Aye.
Commissioner Franchuk?
Aye.
Commissioner Marsh?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion approved. You have a preliminary budget number. Okay, anything else?
I have one thing. I let Attorney Winko know that the commission had approved the counteroffer. And she said that an amended purchase agreement will have to be executed. She's gonna draft that tonight and put it on the city's, the city will take it up tonight, so.
At their meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, so did our motion authorize us to sign that, or do we need to do that separately?
I think you'll need to do that separately. I don't
Okay,
think that.
so can I get a motion to authorize us to sign that contract?
So moved.
By Commissioner White, can I get a
Second.
second? By Commissioner Franchuk. Let's, since we're spending money, roll call vote. Commissioner White?
Aye.
Commissioner Franchuk?
Aye.
Commissioner Claris?
Aye.
Commissioner Marsh?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carried.
And so
Okay.
I'm reminded we have that health department annual meeting tomorrow night at 6.
I'll
We need
be,
a quorum
I'll
there.
probably be a Zoomer on that one.
Okay.
Okay, any other public comments? Hearing none have registered. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
By Commissioner Claris, second.
Second.
By Commissioner Franchuk, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries, thank you.